Hello and welcome to my channel. Now I've installed the remote control software for the Tiny SA. You'll be pleased to hear for the spectrum analyzer. It was incredibly easy because it's included in the app store of the Linux Mint, and you just click run and it works. It was too easy. I always thought it was complicated to set up, but obviously I was wrong. So this is the display of my Tiny SA spectrum analyzer plugged into an antenna. If I could find my mouse cursor, I could show you more. Okay, it's here. I'm on the balcony and it's blazing hot sunshine here. I'm going to try not to appear in the video because I'm dressed up like a Vietnamese rice picker, all wrapped up to keep the sun off. Anyway, so what have we got? This is just the antenna, the longest, biggest antenna I've got, the long white one that was causing problems earlier for Meschat, where the node couldn't transmit. Thank you to the person who in the comments suggested that I recalibrate the noise floor when I change antennas. That indeed helped a lot. By exiting the Meschat program, then restarting it between antenna changes, then the transmit was no longer inhibited by the high noise level from the previous antenna, which was stored. So you have to know that. Thank you for pointing that out. I didn't try the other ignore interference option because that already solved the problem. Anyway, here we can see this is I think the most offending signal, which is centered on about 935 megahertz. This peak here is actually, I don't know if you can see that, but that's around 0 dBm, which is 1 milliwatt. So it's 1 milliwatt of raw power coming from my antenna. And it's almost enough to light an LED. I think there could be another project actually getting free electricity and lighting from cell site transmitters. It's probably illegal. Harvesting, like people harvest Wi-Fi to charge up little batteries sometimes. Anyway, that's 1 milliwatt. That's a lot of signal. That can desensitize any receiver, even the best. So 0 dBm, shocking. The span here is sweeping from 500 megahertz to 1000 megahertz. And the Meshtastic frequency is somewhere here. I just realized I was looking at the wrong pointer. This is the offending signal at around 935 here. Sorry, I think my pointer was, in the wrong place. I've got two mouse cursors on the screen. This, somewhere in here, is 868 megahertz, which is, you can see, it's fairly quiet unless one of my nodes transmits. And then there are some more cell sites here, 750 megahertz. These are down at much lower frequencies. Like 600 and something megahertz. And you can see how nice and cleanly filtered these cell sites are. Anyway, this I think is the biggest problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on max hold, if I can. Let me just switch to that. Let me just turn it on and see if it works. So if I turn on trace number 2, which is the purple one, that's the max hold trace. Let me have a look at OBS, make sure it's really viewing it. Yes, it is. And it's not sure if you can see all my pointers. Maybe you could. Okay, so that's the max hold version. And you can see that it is, there's that big signal, 0 dBm. This is here around minus 20 dBm, which is a lot. And that's with that biggest antenna, which I'm going to show you now. So if I just try to switch to the camera here by turning on that. There's the camera. So there's the longest antenna. It's a 5.8 dBi gain, allegedly white, 80 centimeter long antenna. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that off and replace it with this slightly shorter antenna. This is 40 centimeters long. And for me, this is the one that produces the best results, the best coverage on Meshtastic and Reticulum. And then, for comparison purposes, this is one of the worst antennas I've got, a little short grey one. It's maybe 25 centimeters long. These all have end connectors on, which makes it easy to plug them onto this box, which is normally my main node for Meshtastic previously and now for Reticulum. So I can just screw those on, and we'll see how the signal levels change. So let me go back, turn the camera off to this display. You can see the peak hold is still working. It's held the peak, which is what it's supposed to do. And what I'm going to do now is change antennas. And I'm going to put on the black one, which is the medium-sized one that gives the best results, normally. So I'm just unscrewing the large antenna, putting on the medium antenna, and straight away you can see that things have changed. The signal level has dropped by about 10 dBs here, and also these lower frequency ones have also dropped by around about 10 dBs. So that shows a difference in gain, because of course the gain happens at 868 megahertz, 869, which is where this pointer is, close to 869.5, the frequency that we're allowed to use. And you can see there's not much in there, which is nice. So a 10 dB improvement. And then I'm going to try the worst antenna, the shortest one. So I'm going to take off the medium one, and then I'm going to store on. There's no signal, good. Let's check. Yeah, there's a little bit of signal breaking through. That's just the pickup on the coax cable, which is a fairly good quality semi-rigid coax cable. Very low loss. The loss is about 0.5 dBs when I can measure it. And you can see that the down here, these have actually come up in signal strength. So although the antenna is shorter, it's picking up a higher level on this yellow trace at these frequencies, which is interesting because a shorter antenna, probably it's more resonant down here at 500-600 megahertz. And up here again it's 20-25 dBs down on the nasty peaks that we were seeing. But the whole purpose of this experiment really is to try out the filter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the antenna back on that gets the strongest signals, the big large white one, and then I'm going to connect the filter in the path. So first if we put the antenna on like this, it says it's 860 to 930 megahertz with a peak gain of 5.8 dBi, so that's what it claims. So there it is, and well, what a mess. Remember let's just turn off the peak hold and turn it on again to be fair. So that's off. So that's the live signal being received. If we turn on the peak hold, you can see there it is. That's at about minus 20 dBm at 935 megahertz around there, and that's hitting 0 dBm peak. Well, so what I'm going to do is quickly disconnect the connector going into the spectrum analyzer, so the signals drop away. Now they really have gone down to practically zero because there's not much pickup. Although this tiny SA has a plastic box, so you can see there's a bit of leakage from these strong signals just getting into the machine itself. And I'm connecting the tiny SA now to the output of my new filter. Okay, there we can see something. Now is that going up and down when I hold on to it? No, it's not. Okay, good. So the filter is now in line after the antenna. And you can see there's a Meshtastic signal or a reticulum signal which has been peak holded or peak held. What's that? Minus 20 dBm. Okay, the offending, that was when it was without the filter perhaps. Anyway, the offending signal up here, which was at minus 20 dBm before this level, has dropped down to here, which is about minus 70 dBm. So it looks like about a 50 dB attenuation happening there, or maybe it's gone even lower now, maybe more than that, 60 dBs attenuation, which is nice to know. So the filter is obviously doing its job, and that nasty peak that was 0 dBm before is now here, which is about minus 55 maybe. So again it's gone down 55 dBs from what it was before. Oh, okay, the max hold up doesn't stay forever. It suddenly decided to change and start max holding at the new settings. Okay, but it was there for long enough. So as you can see, let's turn it off. The nasty signal has gone down by 50 or 60 dBs. The one that popped up in there was a wanted signal at the Meshtastic frequency, where this line is here, this marker, and you can see that's what I want to see. And everything else is suppressed by 50 or 60 dBs, which is showing the filter is doing exactly what I want it to do. And hopefully then those high power levels that were coming through at these other frequencies here and here will not be desensitizing the receiver. And that'll be the subject of the next video, where I do some tests between a node here and a local node a few kilometers away and compare the performance, most importantly the signal quality that's reported in the Meschat program, to see if it's improved by putting in the filter. So if you're interested, please subscribe so you will see when that comes up. Remember to like the video if you find it interesting. Please make comments and suggestions and answer my questions. I'm not an expert, but trying to understand stuff and learn stuff and share it with you. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.